Hi, welcome again to the Bell Performance video blog. I'm Eric Bjornstad with Bell Performance, and today we're going to talk about lighter cars. Fuel efficiency. It's a big issue, and the federal government has certain fuel efficiency requirements. They're called CAFE standards. CAFE is an acronym. It's one way that the government influences automakers to continue to develop and make more fuel-efficient vehicles. They require that the vehicle fleet, as they say, which is the average of all the cars and trucks, that group that's made by an automaker, let's say Honda or Ford or Toyota, whoever, they require them to have an average fuel efficiency of X miles an hour. So the government requires this, to kind of keep innovation going in the industry, try to make more efficient cars, lower gas mileage, hopefully use less petroleum, etc., etc. Recently, the Obama administration really pushed for, and they won, higher CAFE standards, higher fuel efficiency standards for cars and trucks. And these fuel efficiency standards, the increases are pretty dramatic. You can read about this on the blog, but right now the CAFE standards are, let's say, in the mid-20s. Well, in maybe 4 or 5 years, they're going to be up to 35 miles an hour, and that's like a 40% jump. It's a pretty significant jump. And by, I believe it's either 2025, these standards are going to have to be up to over 50 miles an hour. So, automakers face this big challenge. How do you squeeze more and more gas mileage out of a car? Because on the one hand, they've got the federal government telling them that they have to make more efficient cars, but on the other hand, they've got consumers who are speaking with their pocketbooks with respect to what they want in a car or truck. What they want is more power, they want better looking, they want more gadgets and gizmos, of course they want safer, they want all this with, of course, good mileage. So consumers, of course, want as much as they can get, and so the automakers are caught in the middle, trying to satisfy both parties at the same time. So how are they going to meet these CAFE standards, these drastic fuel efficiency increases that the government is forcing them to comply with? Well, the only real way to make a sizable difference in the fuel efficiency of a car is to change its weight. A lighter car requires less work to move it along the road, and so lighter cars equal better gas mileage. Well, these automakers are looking for every little bit of weight and advantage and efficiency that they can squeeze out of that car. And so what are they doing? Well, first of all, they have, over the years, replaced much of the metal, the steel, with space-age plastic composites. Now, that's not always such a bad thing, but what you end up with is a car that's made out of a lot of composites, and for those that remember the muscle cars and the big beefy cars from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, well, it's a big change. But, these space-age composites, these plastics, they weigh less than 20% of what steel weighs, and so automakers really don't have any choice about incorporating these composites. A big thing that automakers, though, are going to have to wrestle with is the engine, and that is in direct conflict with what the consumers want, because consumers want faster, more powerful. There are certain things you can do with an engine that an engine engineer can do to squeeze more torque, more horsepower out of the same size engine. But the more you try to squeeze out, the more of a challenge it becomes. So automakers will eventually reach this point where they're going to have to say, we can't reach 50 miles an hour or 53 miles an hour fuel efficiency requirement without making the engine smaller. And when that happens, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of consumers that are, not very happy. But that appears to be the way that this trend is going, because, again, it's all about weight. If you cut down on 10%, if you cut 10% off the weight of a car, the Department of Energy estimates you'll get 7% better gas mileage. Now, 7%, some people might say, well, that's not that much. But for the automaker that's having to go from 27 miles per gallon to 53 miles per gallon, they may not have a choice in the matter. So as consumers, in the coming years, we may have to get used to more and more of these really small, hopefully not underpowered, but really small cars that don't look anything like the classic cars of American Graffiti. We're really going to have to get used to wrap our minds around the possibility that that's what's going to be the industry standard. And it's really all in the name of fuel efficiency. So anyway, that's what's going on in the car industry. Thank you for joining us today with the Bell Performance video blog. I am Eric Bjornstad from Bell Performance once again, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.